Good morning, grade 3. Today we will complete solving the science revision sheet for the third quarter. We will start with question number 51. Earth has day and night because it rotates on its axis, revolves around the sun, has phases like the moon, faces towards the sun. As we said before, Earth has two kinds of movements or two kinds of motion. The first one, it rotates around its axis, and this takes 24 hours or 1 day and causes day and night. The other kind of movement is around the sun. It's called revolution, and it takes 1 year or 365 days, and it causes the 4 seasons. Here you are asked about day and night, so it's because of Earth when it rotates on its axis. So the correct answer here is letter A. The next question, 52. Which picture shows the full moon phase? As we studied, the moon has 8 phases. They are different from each other, and the one which is called the full moon is the one which is all lit. It doesn't have any dark part. So the full moon phase here is letter D. Let's move to the next question, 53. The picture below shows, this picture shows Earth's rotation, Earth's revolution, phases of the moon, weather pattern. Of course, this picture shows phases of the moon. As the moon moves around Earth, it has different phases, different shapes. When you look at the sky every day, you will never watch the moon the same. Its part which is lit or even the part which is dark is different from one day to another, and we call these the phases of the moon. Let's move to the next question, 54. Which of the following pictures shows Earth's axis? Let's remember together what is Earth's axis. An axis is an imaginary line that passes through Earth. It's imaginary. And when Earth is rotating or spinning around this axis, it causes day and night cycle. And it takes 24 hours or 1 day. Which picture here shows this axis? It's the first one, letter A. And as we said that the axis is tilted, like this here in the picture. Now let's move to page number 8, question number 55. Earth turns in space direction to a clock. Opposite, half, the same, upside down. As we said before, that Earth's rotation is in an opposite direction to a clock, not in the same direction or the same way. It's an opposite direction. 56. The part of Earth with the most direct sunlight is the part which takes a lot of sunlight. We have a lot of heat on Earth. So which season will it be? Will it be spring, summer, fall, or winter? Of course it will be summer because it's the warmest or the hottest season. So the part of Earth with the most direct sunlight is summer. It will be summer. The next question, number 57. Jimmy spends much of his time at the beach. He collects shells. If he gets there too late, the ocean water covers the shells. What's happening at Jimmy's beach while he collects shells? The moon is above the ocean at his beach. Water is falling downhill onto the shells. The tide is low when he when he looks for shells, or the moon's gravity is pushing the ocean onto the beach. As we said before, that the moon affects the water in the ocean. Its gravity causes tides. Do you think that when you could find a lot of shells and there is no, or there is a little bit of water on the beach, will it be a high tide or low tide? Of course it will be low. So the answer here will be letter C. The tide is low when he looks for shells, because if the tide was high, he couldn't find the shells. He will find that water covers all the shells on the beach. Let's move to the next question, 58. When the sun rises each morning, a new cycle begins. What happens at the beginning of this cycle? The cycle that happens at the beginning of each day. It starts with the daytime, the morning, or what happens at the beginning of this cycle? What's going on here? The moon's gravity pulls the sun's light towards Earth. The moon begins its revolution around Earth again. Earth begins its revolution around the sun again, or Earth's rotation continues the day-night cycle. As we said again, this question is repeated. Earth rotates around its axis and causes day and night, which takes 24 hours or 1 day. So what happens at the beginning of this cycle is day and night cycle because of the rotation of Earth. So the answer here will be letter D. Earth's rotation continues the day-night cycle. The next question. Water as a gas is known as ice, liquid, water vapor, precipitation. When we talk about matter, we said that everything around us is matter, and all matter have 3 states: solids, liquids, and gases. Water is one of them. When it's solid, it's called ice. When it's liquid, it's the liquid water which we used to drink. When it's gas, we call this gas water vapor, which happens because of evaporation. So water as a gas is known as water vapor. The next page, page number 9. Here, the phases of the moon. Which is the first one, letter A, the one which is all dark? What did we call letter A? We call it a new moon. So the first phase of the moon, which is all dark, is called a new moon. Then what's gonna happen here? After the new moon, what did we call it? We call it crescent. Then letter C. We have the moon has 2 sides, 2 halves. The first one from the left side is dark, and the second side, which is from the right side, is lit. What did we call this one? We call it first quarter. So this one is the first quarter moon. What about this one? Here the part which is lit is getting bigger. What did we call this one? We call it waxing. What about the one which is all lit? It doesn't have any dark side. What did we call it? We call it a full moon. What about letter F? Here the dark side, these 2 phases are almost the same, but not the same size. This one is called warning. Let's move to letter G. It looks like letter C, like the first quarter, but also opposite sides. What did we call it? We call it third or even last quarter. These were the phases of the moon: new moon, crescent, first quarter, waxing, full moon, waning, third or last quarter, crescent, then the phases will start again. Let's move to the next question. Here you have a box with condensation, evaporation, precipitation, and you have 3 sentences. You need to have a look here to this picture, then read the sentence and answer. The first one says, during A, letter A here, the sun causes liquid water to change to water vapor. The liquid will change into a gas. Liquid water will change to be water vapor. Which process is it? We called it evaporation. So, the process through which the liquid water changes to be gas or water vapor is called evaporation. Let's move to 62. During B, here, letter B, water vapor cools and turns into liquid. The gas will change back to be liquid. During which process is that? We call it condensation. The next one, during C, letter C here, water drops that fall from clouds to the ground, or we call anything that falls from the sky. It's not only rain, it could be rain, snow, sleet, or even hail. What did we call this? We call it precipitation. So anything that falls from the sky is called precipitation, and it's the third step in the water cycle. The first one, when the liquid water changes to be water vapor or gas, it's called evaporation. When this gas changes back to be liquid water again and forms clouds, it's called condensation. When they get heavy and start to fall from the sky in the shape of precipitation, which we said it could be rain, snow, sleet, or hail. That's all for today. Next time we will finish the revision sheet. Bye.